Well, we finally made it through winter. Spring is here and our thoughts turn to gardening, and Chuck and Dee are here with some great resources, right?
Yes. You know, you have to start with planning, I know, and maybe it's a little late for that, but
Oh, no, never.
no.
Never too late.
The well-designed mixed garden is a really wonderful reference. This is a guide that talks you through looking at color and texture and form, the height and shape of plants to get it all worked out on paper before you actually, get it in the ground. And there's a wonderful list of plants by color and size, so that you can really find the right plants to get the design that you want in your garden. It's a lovely reference book.
Kind of how they grow and when they grow.
But pictures too, and lists of
Charts.
information about the plants and when they bloom and how long they bloom and the color and how far apart to space them when you plant them, that kind of thing.
It's a great resource.
Good reference.
Okay, great.
And then I brought a book that's written for gardeners like me. It's called "What's Wrong with My Plant?" and How Do I Fix It? This is actually written in a very straightforward style. It's written in a key style, like a botanical key, where is it this or is it this, and then go here or there. So it's sort of a flow chart. And so if we go to a page here, it has, is it like this or is it like this? And if it's like this, you go to this page. If it's like this, you go here, and you work your way through figuring out what it is that's wrong with your plant depending on the symptoms, And so it has lots of different things, blights and shrunken stems and all sorts of things like that. There's just all kinds of resources in here, and I've never seen a book quite deal with it like this in a way that it's pretty straightforward, where you say, is it this or is it this?
Right.
Now what do you do?
Right.
So great resource for the gardener, because something will be wrong with some plant.
Yeah.
Probably.
And some of us more than others.
Right.
Well, this is interesting. Black plants.
This is a stunning book. It's really nice to get something, different in your garden that kind of makes other plants stand out. These are a whole photographic as well as informational book about plants that are in some part black. It might be the foliage, it might be the blossom, it might be the fruit of the plant. And, in some cases, we might look at it and say, no, it's not black, that's deep purple or deep red. But they really give off some element that is black. And in the garden, they can just be so striking and be really used as a contrast to other plants in your garden.
Beautiful.
Beautiful pictures. And the author, Paul Bonain, is going to be at the store May 5th. So probably a good chance to pick his brain about some of those plants.
Wonderful. And finally,
well, last year we launched a series and talked about it here on the program called Get Gardening, and it's in association with a group of publishers. The authors of new books, and some that have been around for a while, come to the store and talk about those books, and they all are all about gardening. We're continuing that series this year, and it launches on April 7th, and with this book, The New Low Maintenance Garden. And it's the kind of garden that a lot of people look for, that you don't have to spend hours and hours in. And so this one does have photographs in it, so it shows you, and sort of thing that Dee was talking about in designing and how you design places and a lot of things like using pavers and other surfaces in your garden so you don't have to weed as often and that sort of thing. So lots of pictures, lots of tips all the way through on how you would design the low maintenance garden. But the series continues. That's just the first one. The other books are not in yet, but on June 11th we'll have the gardener's color palette, is using 10 particular plants in 10 different color palettes to using color in the garden. And then on July 8th, that series continues with Tammy Hartung in a book that's been around for quite a while called Growing 101 Herbs That Heal. So it's about medicinal herbs. And that series, I believe, will continue beyond that as well, but the launch of it, 3 of them coming up in the Get Gardening series.
Great. And of course, all that information is
on the web.
The website at villagebooks.com. Thanks so much, Chuck and Dee from Village Books. And remember, you can experience more at kvos.com.